Not done a video for a while, so I wanted to show what my regular hand drill practice is, just so people get an idea and understanding of this sort of practice I do every couple of days or so. So what I've got here is a tease or spindle, inclinator's hearth board. This is just a practice that I do to keep everything toned and in shape. So, I'm not aiming for an ember. Just want to keep the memory in the muscles, basically. So just do some floating for a while. Keeps the hands conditioned as well. And what I'm doing when I practice is I try to get a feel of the spindle and the hearth. So rather than trying to thrash it through and really force through the ember, just want to feel how the spindle's reacting to the hearth. I can see that I've got a bit of a problem with the hearth. It's not very flat at the bottom, so it's wobbling about a bit. So I have to try and steady it with my foot. I'm just playing around with the spindle to get a feel for it. And when you learn to get a feel for it, you just shut your eyes and do it. Then concentrate on how it feels and the way it's responding. It's a good thing as well if you're getting damage in your hands in certain parts, because then if you do a slow spin like this, you can feel if you're pressing too hard on one part than the other. You can see it's just working those arm muscles. Now as I'm spinning now, I can hear the spindles starting to grip on the hearth. You can hear the difference, the change in the sounds. You can also feel it a bit through the spindle as well. Starting to smell as well. Got a little bit of dust down there. Practice the floating technique as well. You can just do it like this, and to perfect it, but you can wind it down like that and then spin it back up like that. And I can feel that the top of the spindle is quite thin, so my hands are rubbing together quite badly. So I know if I continue at the top, I'm going to get hand damage pretty quickly. So I'll work my way down a bit and try a different area. That's a bit better, but there's a knob on there which is catching a bit. The problem with tease is it's quite hard on the outside and quite smooth, so it's can be quite difficult to get a grip with. See if we can wake up the spindle a bit. I'm just increasing the speed and downward pressure as well. And seeing what happens. There's a bit of smoke coming out there now. Let's see. Yeah. A little bit of dust building up, but not too much. Not a lot of dust coming out of there. What I'm doing is that the aim is just to practice. I don't want to rip up my hands. As soon as you rip up your hands, you're out for a good few days. If you do it like this, you can really train and improve your technique and your speed also. You don't have to rip up your hands. And the idea of hand drill is ideally that you don't have to thrash out the ember. You want everything connected so it runs smoothly, so the wood does the work for you. You often see on YouTube people thrashing out the embers, which, yeah, it gets the job done, but it's not the best way to do it. Without thrash it out like that, wash it out like that as hard as possible. You'll get it, but it's not the most elegant way to do it. The problem whenever you're practicing is you start to see the smoke, and the smoke builds up, and of course you want to go for it quite naturally. That's when you're going to wreck your hands. You can see they're getting a bit red already. Just get back to some normal practice. I'm just trying to get the feel of a spindle and what it's doing in my hand. Checking that the elbows aren't too far out. Keep them nice and tight. Enjoy the floating hand technique. Good fun, I really enjoy it. Problem is that as soon as the socket comes out, it starts cooling down pretty quickly, and it takes a bit more effort to bring it back up to heat. There we go. You can feel that's smoothed over a bit. You can feel that while I've been doing this, it's polished over the socket. Not a lot of heat going in there either. What I'm doing now is trying to apply a bit more downward pressure to graze out that polish. One handy hint I've found is that you can drop some dust in there and that'll brush it out. When you're practicing, you can think about posture, the different effects of posture. So if you're right over it, you can get a bit more downward pressure. And if you go further back, it's a lot harder to apply the downward pressure. You can hear it squeaking when it's trying to burr out the polish. That's some practice. Don't necessarily go for an ember, just go to train and make sure you don't wreck your hands. That's it. Thanks for watching.